We do have some, what you talk about meters, we do have those that are available, we're using them now, we're testing, I shouldn't say testing, but we're looking for areas where we do have the cell service, being able to read those on a monthly basis. So depending on where you are, we have that service now, and we are installing those meters. They call them WMI or WR or AMI type meters, automated meter readers.
Could this prevent someone from going out and reading them?
It doesn't prevent anyone from reading,
No, I mean,
it
doesn't-
just, it eliminates the need for a meter reading every month.
Just like the electric company?
Yes, an electric company, and some water meters have gone that.
Not us.
Well, I'm just saying, some have gone that direction.
Can you turn service on and off as well? With
No, sir, not remote.
Okay.
No, sir, it still requires us, depending on
Because
how.
electric can.
Electric can, we are not set up like that. Ours is just strictly to communicate, just a few seconds to take a reading, and that is it. We do not remotely turn on or turn off. And a lot of that pertains to inspections, depending on how long, that structure has been off. You need to have the inspections and have, just hit me right in the chin, but have that deployment tested and everything like that before we turn it back on. But anyway, that's the gist of this, and as I said, y'all are a member of the ACSC coalition, and that's their recommendation. I'm just here representing and testifying on my behalf.
And how often does this happen?
What we're doing is, this happens every year, as a matter of fact. We go before the coalition, representatives, and file what our expenses have been for the test year prior. And it happens every year.
Make a motion to approve resolution 11-1/2023.
Have a motion, anybody second? Second. Motion and a second. All approve?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. You're good. Your meter reader ain't too fast, because he left a note that the Yellow Jackets was trying to attack him. Really quick, he'd have been able to read it without him getting to it.
I mean, they train them probably like the meter reader, the water meter too, but you gotta be able to read them fast sometimes. But if there is an interest in the automated meters, that we have, let us know, we'll be happy to look into it.
Well, I've called about it.
Oh, okay, and
They said that
there's
there's a
some
list.
Okay, and the things are on back order, I mean, since
Oh, I
COVID,
figured, yeah.
everything is on
I
back
don't
order.
want to hear back.
But I just want to say thank y'all
Let's do that anymore.
for what y'all do as city administration and as city council.
I do have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you're aware, use of natural gas is under attack at the federal level in certain ways, like stoves. So I assume y'all are active in that?
Yes, sir, very much so.
Okay.
Very much so. We're trying to do that, of course, here in Texas. They put the all fuels bill, was put into effect two years ago, I think it was, when they were in
Does
session.
that
Which
shield
helps
us?
protect cities, cities from just randomly full electric and then requiring code changes and that sort of thing, when you don't have code effective. But anyway, yes, we are involved. We're watching that. We're watching our city councils, and just seeing if there's anything that we can help y'all with, or,
Well, I don't think there was any movement in River Oaks to get rid of gas, but
And
I
I
know
haven't
some
seen
cities
that,
there
but
might
in
be.
some cities there are, and there have been. I just came from Colorado.
Is it happening there?
It is happening there. From the government. The fossil fuels are important. It's good to have a good fuel mix. I'm not saying natural gas is the only way to go. Fossil fuel is the only way to go, but it's good to have a good fuel mix, whether it's solar, wind power, or nuclear, whatever the case might be. Hydrogen. So, but again, I appreciate what y'all do,
Appreciate you coming.
at the council, and if we can help you in any way, Marvin's got my number, Paula's probably got my number, anybody, feel free to get hold of us. So thank y'all very
Thank
much.
you.
I hope y'all have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
On to item number 12, work session, FY 2023 city operational budget, October 1st, 2023 to September 30th, 2024. Marvin?
Before you get started,
Yeah.
when I make a mistake or I'm wrong on something, I like to make it, straighten it out. Mr. Holland was right. the way Tarrant County collects.
Now, listen, I did not say anything to him
No, he
about this.
didn't say anything.
He called me today on the phone. I have not said a word to him about it since the meeting. And
About
he said, let him
He'll tell
finish.
you,
I
but he
just
just
want you to
wanted to make it
know, I did
clear.
not bring this up. You did.
Okay, Marvin.
I checked with Tarrant County to see how the collections went, because I really understood it. We have two separate line items. We have one for prior year taxes, and then we have one for this year's collection. I assumed it was being broke down. It was not. They collected all in one lump. So when it says 101%, they're counting what prior taxes they have collected in this tax year that are into that lump. So that
So
was
you may not
probably-
remember, but he's,
No,
I said I wanted you to know why it's more
Yeah.
100%, and I said it, and he said, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, I do
think
remember
I'm
that.
right,
That's
but-
where that, okay.
I remembered the 100, how we got better than 100%, somebody paying extra.
I do apologize to you, Councilman.
Oh,
Hall.
that's all right, Mark.
That
I'm
was
giving
my
you a
first
merit.
mistake.
There you go. That's all right.
I did, before we get started with this, I do have a question.
Okay.
So, why is it, so I know that each year they always give us a no new revenue rate, a voter approved rate, and a de minimis rate.
Right.
Why do they not give us, or maybe you have to calculate it, but why do they not give us a rate where, once we get into the black, if we don't go up on, since they say we go up on taxes and we're not, that we don't go up on taxes and our income is the same year to year?
Say that again.
So like last year, let's just say it was 2.5 million, and then we lowered the rate, but even though the house values went up, we did the no new revenue rate, and it went to 2.7. So next year we'll be in the black, and versus having to go up on taxes again, quote unquote, because they're going to say we went up, can we get a rate that makes us stay at the 2.7? Those are hypothetical numbers, but you see what I'm saying?
That should be what your no new revenue rate is. It should be the same as compared to the year before, except for the values. The values would make a change.
So then that's what I'm saying, is could we ever go below that once we got back into the black? Without-
Within the year, you mean, like
Like,
change the mid-year?
no, like next fiscal year.
I don't think you could. Most
Well, you
everybody
can always
just goes
go
with the no new revenue.
It would fluctuate every year because of the value impact and also the requirement because of Senate Bill 3 to have to stay under the 3.5% threshold that can cause, I don't know, there's a lot of moving parts that keep you from being able to just have, I don't know of a single city I've ever worked in where a rate was a rate and it stayed at that rate for a period of years. It's because values.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, is the value, I'm
Right.
saying like this year, if we were in the black, we could have gone to like 0.55 versus 0.65, and our income would have stayed the same for the city, and then taxes would have gone up on the food.
Well, but they move at the same time. I mean, the values change and the rate changes together.
I know, then could we not calculate to figure out what we could stay at to where we're not, quote unquote, the state is not telling us that we're raising the taxes?
Well, if you go at that no new revenue rate, that essentially is
But
the
it's
same
not,
rate.
because we're increasing it, and they're saying that we've increased the taxes.
Well, not if you stay with the no new revenue.
No, right, we're talking about going above the no new revenue rate.
Yeah.
6, 7,
It's not considered a tax.
that's no new revenue plus 3.5.
That's what I asked, Marvin, that's what I asked you. You said that they will say that we went up on our taxes when we did.
When we go up above no new revenue, that's where the tax increase is.
Okay, so next year,
Mhm.
if we just do the no new revenue rate that takes into consideration the debt that we have, then our income's gonna be the same, and they're not gonna say that we increased the taxes,
Yeah,
correct?
you won't be increasing taxes. The debt will still be there, but you won't increase taxes.
But we can make our no new revenue rate be what it is with the debt included,
Yes,
if we wanted.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's considered the maintenance and operation rate, no new revenue, so yes.
But in the old days, there was no, you just said the rate. You know, there was no of this, no new revenue rate or any of that kind of stuff. If it was last year, it was 77,
And what was it last year, Mark?
75.
78, wasn't it?
78?